In 2007, end of 2007, right around the time we started the show, John, and in 2008, we were talking about, on this very program, we were talking about the possible lesbian relationship between Hillary Clinton and Huma Abedin. Huma Abedin, known as her body man, is actually what people are calling her. And there were a lot of rumors. Okay, a lot of rumors. So right around the time those rumors are starting to peak, all of a sudden she's dating Anthony Weiner, who was just about to, I think he was not, at that time he was maybe just a freshman congressman, and perfect match. She's Muslima.
Okay, I know where you're going.
Okay, well, let me complete it. Now, the interesting things, side notes. Huma Abedin, who as an assistant when Hillary Clinton was senator was making $9,000 a year. Now she's probably making an official salary of about $40,000. She has a $700,000 condo, which she purchased outright in Washington, D.C. She has Prada bags, Marc Jacob bags. She's got tons of beautiful, expensive stuff. So, it's not coming from her family, who, as far as I can tell, is not loaded or rich.
She's well accessorized.
Yes, exactly. She's also stunningly beautiful. But I see her in pictures with Lucifer Clinton. They're wearing the same red outfits. I mean, and if you believe Jennifer Flowers, on page 42 of her book about Bill Clinton, she quotes Bill Clinton telling her that Hillary Clinton has eaten more you-know-what than he has. That's the line in the book. So I believe that Anthony Weiner, who, by the way, their marriage, July 10th, 2010, was presided and officiated by Bill Clinton. Yes. I believe that he was in on the game. He was in there to act as the beard for Huma Abedin and Lucifer Clinton, and that's why he had such an incredible big mouth, because he had the power of the Clintons behind him. All he had to do was just play along with the game, and he could have been in a great position. Now, of course, because he doesn't actually have a relationship with this woman, like most guys, he's freaking out. So that's when he gets into the whole Twitter and email thing and the cyber sexing and all that stuff. And and when he was up there apologizing, he wasn't crying for his wife, John. He was crying for himself, that he messed it all up. And this is why they want him out, because everyone who's against the power of the Clintons wants to get this guy out. That's what's going on here.
I like it.
Yeah, and I think it's pretty rock solid.
The only variable in here, you're going to have to explain this away since I'm giving this one to you.
Yeah, okay, thank you.
What is or is she not pregnant, or is that bullcrap?
I think, and that came out, and apparently it was in the New York Times. I didn't read it. I think that is, first of all, it's when people are pregnant, they usually don't say anything until a minimum of 3 months of pregnancy. That's just total distraction, just to throw, fan the flames a little more. I don't think that's true. And if anything, it's a plant to make you believe that they had consummated the marriage, and again to move away from the Hillary and I have like some kind of weird crackle. If anything, it's meant to move you away from thinking that Lucifer and Huma have some form of lesbian relationship.
Okay, well, the only thing, again, I'm observing this rush to get him out of there.
Well, because anyone who doesn't like the Clintons, and I think there's quite a body count, they want him out because the guy still has the power of the Clintons behind him. You see, look, we've observed this guy, and sometimes
we have clip after clip, because he does do exactly what you say. He goes in front of Congress, what nobody else does, and just rails
on him because he has that power. The Clintons are still incredibly powerful, and sometimes he's actually, I agree with what he's doing. like against Clarence Thomas and stuff. That's good stuff. But he had such a big mouth, and all of a sudden it all clicked for me. I'm like, obviously. Now, there is something.
Wait a minute. Let's stop here.
Okay.
I'm buying this theory, and because it's tawdry and it's creative, and
she was in Vogue magazine. How many staffers get a pictorial in Vogue magazine? I can just see Lucifer going, "Honey, I'm going to get you in Vogue. Don't you worry. I'll take care of you." have another Marc Jacobs bag.
Why now?
No, I think he genuinely messed up. I don't think he was set up. Let's just do Occam's razor. I think he just messed up. The guy was out of control. I mean, you know, John, when the blood flows down to your penis, it's not in your head. The guy's not thinking. And he's just like, ugh. So that's why he was so upset. He's crying for himself. How could it be such an idiot?
No,
I had everything going for him.
I buy into that theory that he's crying for himself.
I don't think it was a setup. I think now there could be a setup scenario. This is an interesting one. There is a redistricting that has to take place in New York. It could be a perfect time to eliminate him from the mix. I don't see why they would, because it's always good to have a congressman, to have a vote that's going to do whatever you say. So I can't see why Lucifer or Billy Boy would actually set up...
No, I wouldn't think they were setting him up. It would have to be the anti-Clinton forces.
Then it could be redistricting of New York. They have. I looked up the law in New York. You have to have a special election if he resigns or dies or whatever, and it has to be within like 30 or 40 days, but only after the governor calls for it. It seems too convoluted. I think the guy genuinely just messed up.
You think he just stepped in it?
Yes, he did. He's like he had it all going for him. He had Chuck Schumer.
Okay, so your explanation is there was no setup whatsoever. He stepped in it, and what unraveled, the only reason that he had this going on in the first place is because this was his outlet, because he really wasn't, this marriage was a sham.
Yes.
And he's this woman, he's a beard for this girl who's like basically living with, or, you know.
She's living with Hillary all the time.
Hillary.
Yeah.
And as the girlfriend, as the lipstick,
total lipstick
lesbian.
Oh.
And which, you know, I don't know. You know, I'm gonna have to go start to listen to watch. I'm gonna send a note to the Gay News.
Yes.
Who's a show which is on Free Speech TV, and they out people left and right.
Yeah.
And they love outing people.
I think Michael Musto of the Village Voice actually wrote a lot about Hillary Clinton when this was taking place in Huma Abedin. And he, if anyone, he's the one that semi-outed these two. And the crazy thing is, what really gets me, if Hillary would just come out and say, I'm in love with this woman, and it's a problem because she's a subordinate and she works for me, so she's going to resign her post, but she's my traveling companion. I love her, and she loves me, and we make awesome lesbian sex. It would be great.
Yeah,
it would be no problem. It would be no problem. I'd be like, yay! It would be It's not going to happen. I mean, how stupid is this? At the end of the day, I love the theory, but it's so dumb because all you have to do is just admit it.
Straight then. So that picture in the war room with Hillary and with her hand to her face, she was actually smelling her girlfriend.
Oh, John! Oh my goodness, you are a horrible man. That is
sorry.
That is the worst. I mean, we had female listeners. They're all gone now.
I'm sorry. I really feel bad about that.
You should,
joke.
Miss Mickey. Could you turn the heat off for me, darling? Thank you, love.
You got yourself heated up. All right, I'm buying everything except for the fact I'm gonna counter this. I'm not gonna do it today, but I'm gonna look into I'm still convinced there's the Schumer angle, but as it now stands, your thesis is absolutely on the top of the list.
And there's a lot of people catching on to this, and all you have to do is go back and Google does have this 2007, 2008, and the thing is, even before these articles came out, and I got like a note from one of our producers, Southern Bread, and I was like, I remember this name. What was going on with this woman? And it hit me, and now now if you Google it, you're seeing it all over the place, and people are bringing back those articles from 2007, 2008. I totally think the New York Times reporting on her being pregnant is just a plant. Like, oh, they've consummated the marriage, is for real. Bull crap. Did you see that picture, by the way, of his boner? Not the one in the boxers?
I stopped looking for pictures.
Okay, so you can go to tweetmyboner.com, where I'm keeping I'm keeping a record of and if anyone else tweets their boner, it'll be on tweetmyboner.com.